Well, good morning. It is the 5th of October 2020, and welcome to another daily devotional. This morning, as I spent some time with the Lord in His Word, I was in Philippians chapter 1, and I love what it says in verse 6. It says this, "And I am sure of this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Christ Jesus." That He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Christ Jesus. There's so much comfort in this because God has started a good work in all of us who love Him. He started a work of changing our insides and to make it look more and more like Jesus. And that process can be a difficult process. I love what C.S. Lewis says about this. Is whenever we come to Jesus, He enters into the house of our soul. And we think this is wonderful, this is brilliant, He's here. But then He starts taking a sledgehammer to the walls and knocking through the walls and 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 changing stuff on the inside. And we're like, oh God, that's a difficult process to be in. But C.S. Lewis says this. He says that we think that He's just going to renovate our cottage, but actually He's turning it into a palace. And He is doing a good work on the inside of us. He is transforming us from glory into ever increasing glory. And He's doing a work that is changing us to make us look more and more like Jesus, to be made conformable to His image. And as He transforms us and as He renews us, we're on this journey, we're on this process, we're on this adventure with Jesus, where He is changing us from the inside out. But the good news is He never does half a work. He will bring it to completion. He will bring it to completion. Now that completion doesn't happen ultimately until the day of Christ Jesus. Paul's speaking of that last day whenever the trumpet sounds and we are caught up in Him and we get our resurrection bodies. And that's the day whenever all things will be complete, whenever we will know fully, even as we're fully known. And God promises that He will bring us to that day because He started a good work in us. And if He started a good work, He is going to bring it to completion. God does not do anything by half. There's no half measures with God. And He is bringing that work of recreation to completion within us. He makes all things new. And that process starts in the here and the now. He is doing a work of applying the life of God to us. As He transforms how we think, as He transforms our desires and our affections and our emotions, to be made more and more conformable to the image of Christ. So today, I want to encourage you. Folks, you're on a journey, but you're going to get there. It might be a long road for some of us, but we're going to get there because He promises to bring it to completion. I pray this day that you let Him do what He wants to do within your life. It's difficult to transform a cottage into a palace whenever the person who's been living in the cottage all these years wants to keep the cottage the way it is. And God is doing a work of transforming us, of shaping us and molding us from the inside out. But He wants us to come into dynamic partnership with Him and alignment with Him for that to be the case. Have a great day, guys.